Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Marissa for those of you who are new here, and thank you so much for watching. In today's video, as you can see by the title, I show you how I get this look, which is my everyday look that I wear Monday through Friday pretty much when I go into my 9-to-5 job. And yeah, so these are all products I consistently reach for and that I've really been enjoying in my collection. And then this is just a quick, easy look for me to look put together, as well as it being very long lasting throughout the day. So hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. If you want to see how I got this look, then please keep on watching. Okay, I got you guys all zoomed in. The giant scrunchie is kind of cut off, but that's okay. So to start off, I go in with the NYX brow glue. I just realized I forgot a mirror. Hold on. Okay, not my mirror. Can't believe I forgot that. Anyways, okay, so what I typically start with, I have my moisturizer on, and then on days where I'm going to wear my makeup a little bit longer, I will put on the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. But some days, if I'm in a hurry, I won't put that. So the next step I do is my brows, which I use the NYX brow glue as well as the Makeup Revolution soap brow, and then I also have the e.l.f. Wow brow. But this has been like my go-to for just typical everyday. So I just take one little thing. So I just take the spoolie and I just kind of run it through my brows. I've noticed this definitely puts them up into place and they stay fairly well. I have very fine brows, but they're very long, so I feel like it's very hard to get them to stay up in that feathery look that I'm really wanting. So yeah, and then I go in and get more product for the other brow. This stuff is definitely goopy, and you know, if I wore foundation, I think I would put this on after. If you're new here, I'm not a foundation girl. So yeah, I like the way, like with my freckles showing, and luckily I have really good skin. I don't have a whole lot of pimples, or I usually don't get a whole lot. I've been getting a lot more recently with the stress of the wedding. But I usually let that kind of sit, and then I go into my concealer. So these three concealers have definitely been my go-to. No surprise here, this e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer, the matte finish in the shade Light Sand. I use this for to prime my eyelids. Then my other one is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Light, number 15 Light. Been using that on my under eye, but if I'm in a real rush and I just want to brighten and go, I've been using the e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer, and I think this is in the shade Fair, I think, or Light. I'm not sure which one that is. But so actually today I'm going to go in with the, you know what, no, I'm going to go in with the brightening concealer, and then I will put this as my eyeshadow base. So just take one little dot. Whew. I'm kind of in a little bit of a rush because I get to go pick up my wedding dress today. It's the final fitting. So I just wanted to throw on some makeup, and I have a bunch of other stuff I'm doing today, so I just wanted it just an easy look. So I don't really like this kind of applicator, honestly. I end up getting way more than I desire, pretty much, at that point. And so sometimes it ends up getting a little goopy. I have noticed this does not play well when I put the e.l.f. Putty Primer underneath my eyes to help with the creasing. So I'm still figuring out my thoughts on the e.l.f. Brightening Concealer. So while this is kind of sitting, I like to let my concealer sit I've noticed that is a trick, and I've seen a couple of times that people do that to make it a little more full coverage, because it ends up setting down when you let it just kind of sit there a little bit. And so that's what I like to do. I'm going to go into the NYX Professional Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Ash Brown. This is one of my favorite just brow pencils. I'm going to fill in my brows with this. This is my favorite brow pencil. I used to have the shade Chocolate, which was very red, so when I had red hair that was the one I used, and then I ended up purchasing Ash Brown because I don't really have red hair anymore. All that has kind of gone away, so I use this just to fill in, add a little more color to my brows. And then my brows I'm still kind of figuring out what's the shape I like. I do like a more bushy, feathery look, but in terms of like shape, do I want it straighter or do I want more rounded? Still kind of figuring out, and so I just kind of play with it throughout when I put on my brows and stuff, because that's just trying to experiment. So one day I'll go a little more round, next day I'll go a little more straight, and just to see what I like. And I tend to like both. For my makeup trial, my makeup artist did a little more round, and I seem to like that, so we'll see. Okay, so after that I take the spoolie, which is on the other end, and I just kind of brush through, kind of blend them all a little bit more together. Actually, they're cooperating today, so I'm really happy about that. Is anyone else excited that it is finally warmer weather? I know some Texans are not really happy because it gets really hot and it gets very humid here. And if you're not used to that, I can understand. My family is they've made comments about the fact that the wedding is in June, which maybe by the time this video goes up, might have already happened. I don't know what order this is going, but anyways, they're like, seriously, in June? And I was like, well, be glad I'm not picking August, because August in Texas is pretty brutal. As you can see, it definitely brightens up my eye, but it doesn't necessarily like completely cover the dark circles, so I don't know. Also, my dark circles are just pretty bad. This week I didn't get a whole lot of sleep, so it's a combination of that, and just had some late nights. So sometimes it covers and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll take the like lighter concealer that's on my eyelid and kind of bring it down a little bit here to help cover some of the darkness. Honestly, I don't need to do this step, but I'm trying to use up that concealer because I know it's completely way the wrong shade. It's way too light. So I'm just trying to find ways to use it up and, not be wasteful about it. So that's what I like to do. But I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of the Maybelline Fit Me concealer over top, just to add a little bit more coverage. As you can see, it's like a lot darker, so this could be like a mistake. But I just want to cover a little bit more of like my hyperpigmentation and some of the darkness that I have under my eyes. Do y'all have any plans for the summer? Are you guys doing trips? I know a lot of places are opening up a little bit more with COVID and with their restrictions. Not like how that layered. Definitely should have gone the other way around. So I think I'm gonna have to go on top and do that. Again, yeah, it's looking like really crepey for whatever reason. Probably because since I layered it. That's not what I typically do, and that's what I get for doing that. Yep, that's what I get for not doing so well. On camera, it doesn't look too bad. Like you can tell, like I'm definitely concealed, a little more brightened, but I think in person it's not my favorite. I'm just gonna do one little dot that's brightening, like over top, and see what happens. It's just that dark area. I mean, everyone has like those like annoying kind of problem areas. There, that's much better. There we go. But yeah, so sometimes I like to layer these concealers or layer my brightening and the other concealers that I have just to get the right combo. I'm terrible at getting the correct shade for myself because I think I'm just still trying to figure out my undertones, but I think this seems to work really well. As you can see, that layering was really good. So okay, so if I'm really in a rush, I will actually skip cream products, but I want to do them today. So I'm going to go in for my cream bronzer, the Tarte cream bronzer. I know a lot of these products I've used numerous times, but I don't have a big collection, and I kind of like that I don't have a big collection. But I like to mix it up of like what I use, which products I use, and also at the same time I'm going through products and I'm trying not to be as like wasteful. So and I'm being a little bit more strategic on what I'm buying, so just for reference. So yeah, I'm gonna go into the Tarte Seychelles Sea Breezy Cream Bronzer. I know, always mix up this Breezy Cream Bronzer. I always mix up this name, but this is also in my project pan. As you can see, I got a really big pan in this, and so I've been using this a lot. And I'm just gonna go in with my Health sculpting brush and just kind of, I don't go crazy with it. And then I just start blending in the forehead and then tapping it out on my cheeks. I like layering the creams and creams under powders because I notice when I do that, my makeup actually stays longer on my face and it just lasts better throughout the day, which, you know, with summer coming up and being in a very humid climate is a must, because otherwise your makeup's just gonna melt off your face. I don't know if I said this, but yeah, I have normal to dry skin. Definitely in the summer it's a little more normal, and then when winter rolls around, it dries up a lot more. It is the craziest thing that every time I do my makeup on this particular side, it looks like more pigmented, and I don't know why. Well, on camera it doesn't look too bad, but. And then on the cheeks, I've learned, I used to just swipe, and then I started not liking how that was going, so I started doing these tapping motions, and I liked how it ends up looking when I do that instead. And I feel like it looks a little bit more seamless, and I don't take away from the pigmentation as much. I just put some under my lip, but that's about it. I don't really contour my nose or go crazy with contour. Like, this is just as much as I do with that. But I'm definitely been a lot more heavy-handed with bronzer lately, and I've learned that that's one of my favorite products because I just like how it chisels my face, and especially where I place it, and gives a little bit more warmth and life to my skin. I don't typically use contour, like specifically gray products, to like for that shadow aspect. I'm interested in possibly trying that. I've never had that happen, or I've never tried that before. I don't think even some makeup artists have put, you know, that I've worked with, I don't think they've even done it. So yeah, I'd be interested in maybe trying it one day just to see how it looks. I just like how it just sculpts my cheeks. Okay, my cream blush I've been really liking, and I'm very surprised I've been liking, is this ColourPop Cheek Dew Serum Blush in this shade Hotline. It is one of my favorite products. I just literally tap some on my finger, and then I just put it right onto my cheek, and I just kind of blend it in. To me, it gives a nice dew without being like sticky. At first it definitely feels sticky, like don't get me wrong, at first it does, and then it just kind of sets, at least on my skin, and it looks pretty good. As you can see, it doesn't show up a whole lot, but I definitely layer it a couple of times, and I really like the tone. I always liked peachy kind of tone blushes, or orangey, or a little more bronzy as well, and so I didn't really gravitate towards the pink ones, but ever since I've gotten this product, I've been like changing my mind about like going after pink blushes, and I've gravitated a lot more. Some of the ones I have are like more berry tones, which are definitely a little bit more fall, but then when, you know, the warmer months coming, I definitely was trying to go out of my comfort zone, and that's why I ended up getting this product and the other one you'll see here in a little bit, to kind of bring in a little more pink. It's not like, at first when you put it on you're like, whoa, but it really blends very nicely into the skin while giving like a little bit of flush. And I'm like putting like a ton on, so it just ends up seeming like it takes a little longer, but honestly I can do this pretty quickly without talking a whole lot. Like overall this whole makeup look I think takes me like 20 or 30 minutes, but if I take the cream products out, it definitely takes me like a lot less. And this is where it's like I just go for it's natural, but I'm still looking like pulled together. That's the whole vibe with this look, and just with my everyday look, is looking like I cared. No, that's with like my goal with just the simple everyday look. This is like what I wear into work. If you're new here, I have a 9-to-5 job that I go to Monday through Friday. So this is the kind of look that I just put on really quickly and get out the door, kind of a thing, and, you know, put my hair up in a bun or whatever. This is the look I tend to go for like Monday through Friday and just every day, because it's quick, it's easy, and it lasts all day, which is a really, really, really big thing, because no one wants their makeup to only last for like an hour. You know, who wants that? Okay, so I'm going to go into my powder products now, and so I'm going to go into my bronzer, which is the only bronzer I have, which is the Makeup Revolution bronzer in the shade Cool, 01 Cool. It's the Mega Bronzer. And I'm going to go in and just kind of go over top that cream bronzer that we set down and use it as a way to set it. I've been testing out this technique to maybe see if I can get my makeup looking a little more blended, and since I've been doing this, that has been the case. And again, also it has lasted a lot longer when I've done this technique. Also, I find I use less as well, like for each product, in terms of like, if I only use creams and then just put setting powder over top, I feel like I have to put a ton more so that way it pops through. But if I use both of these, I end up not, for both creams and powders, I end up not using as much. For blush, I've been really loving this blush, which is the Essence The Blush in the shade Beloved. It is very, very pink and also very, very, very pigmented. And it actually goes really well with the Hotline shade. As you can see, it's very similar tones. So they're a great combo, and honestly this is so pigmented, and so you don't need a whole lot, but I've definitely noticed that my blush lasts a lot longer throughout the day when I combine these two in particular, and not just in general of doing cream with a powder. And this stuff is as you can see, look, pigmented, and it blends really easily. And yeah, so I plan on actually getting more shades in the Essence of Blush. One, it's like not very expensive. That's a great thing. Most of my stuff actually is drugstore, surprisingly, and you can get a really, really great makeup look with that. Also, this is the cheek combo that I wore for my engagement pictures, and if you haven't seen that Get Ready With Me, I will link that up in the eye and down below. And ever since I've like been using this I've just been really, really enjoying this combo on my skin. I am starting to gravitate a little more back to my oranges with, you know, the summer months coming. I like to put a little like on my nose just to add some color there. Wow, it looks like crazy on camera, but in person it actually looks really, it looks a little more toned down than it is on camera. But we're not done yet. But so I just kind of press, and I don't swipe a whole lot, I just press that way I don't move any of like the cream products underneath, and just kind of blend it all together. together, and sometimes I'll do that just to tie in the colors. Okay. And then after this point, this is when I go into like a setting powder to kind of like blend everything together. So I'm going to go into the Elf Halo Glow setting powder in the shade medium. I like, my preference is definitely a little bit more glowy. My preference is definitely a little bit more glowy skin. And then I very lightly just tap over everything. Down here I like to just kind of sweep it like this to really make sure my cheeks are chiseled. And then yeah, I just kind of tap over everything to set it. Sometimes what happens though when I do this, you can see like on my cheeks the bronzer gets lost a little bit, so what I'll do is I'll go back in. And get a little more product and just to sculpt it back out again. Sometimes that happens and other times it doesn't, but and honestly if I'm in a rush, I don't bother because I'm just like, look, I got color on my cheeks, it's not a big deal. And I move on. So for highlight, I tend to bounce back between these two, and this one is in actually my project pan. This is the Tarte Skin Twinkle Lightening Palette, and I end up going in with this shade right here. Unfortunately, when I was opening it, I accidentally dug my nail. I tend to go into this shade, or I use the Essence Pure Nude Highlight, which in Be My Highlight, which is a beautiful, just naturally glowy highlight. As you can see, it's got some sheen, and you'll have to like build it up if you want like bam, where like this one's a little more bright. But so today I'm actually going to go into this one right here and highlight my cheeks. Sometimes with this one I definitely feel like I have to build it up a lot more, and then I like to like highlight my forehead. So as you can see, it's not like a Becca highlight, but it does give a nice little glow. I'm gonna go back in with like my blush brush just to kind of like blend that area a little bit. Okay, now going on to eyes. What I've been doing lately is going into this lightening palette again and going into this middle shade, which is more of like a matte yellow toned kind of highlight, and I'll actually put it under like use that, and I'll actually use it to set like my concealer area, and then kind of brush any out creases or whatever that are on my eye. And I also like to put it here because like when I'm at work I wear blue light glasses, and that'll help with it's not just rubbing my makeup off. And at first it definitely looks like you're like, oh no, too dry, but once I like do everything else and then use setting spray, it definitely doesn't look as dry or crepey or anything. I really enjoy like what this powder is doing in it. And when I honestly just looked at it and was like, you know, let me try it. Let me see how this works, you know, and we'll see if it does work, you know, with setting my under eyes. Like, I am older, I am 28, so I do have like wrinkles and stuff getting under there, and most of the time concealers crease on me like no matter what I do, and so I just deal with it. But I saw that then I looked into like this palette and I was like, you know what, I need to find a way to use that middle shade because I'm not really into like the matte highlight look. So I just thought of that technique, and using like a big fluffy brush like this, it doesn't like pack it on either, so that definitely helps, and I feel like it does a good job. So as you can see, like this is how my skin is actually looking with everything. Sometimes I'll do setting spray now, but I'm actually going to wait till after everything's done. So going into eyes, I bounce back and forth from the e.l.f. New Classics palette and then this palette, which is That's ColourPop, That's Taupe palette. This is a cool tone palette. As you can see, there's a bunch of cooler tones. There's some shimmers. This is the Super Shock, and some mattes as well. And what I've been actually doing, which very surprisingly, doing lately is I'm like someone who likes like the Super Shock formula as well as just like putting shimmers on my eyelids. I've been actually going for an all matte look, And so what I like to do is take the shade Pebble Beach right here, and I'll put that pretty much like all over my lid, under on my lower lash line, and just doing that, as well as another shade, which I'll tell you in a second, and putting this in my crease, and just kind of very messily just putting it on my lid, just to kind of contour my lid or give a little something on there. And then sometimes I'll bring in like a little bit right here, just to maybe contour my nose a little bit. Yeah, so I just kind of go back and forth, and I go on the lower lash line. I kind of look up and just kind of brush everything, and yeah. And then actually what I like to do is go into this little lighter shade. It's called Boa right here, and I take this little Kenzie brush, which is actually angled. I don't know if you can kind of see it there. A little bit of an angled eyeshadow brush, and what I've been doing is just been taking the matte shade, and I use the angle to assist me in getting this in the right spot, to almost like cut the crease with the eyeshadow. And I'll put that lighter matte shadow on the inner portion to brighten up my eye a little bit without the shimmer. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can see it kind of brightens it a little bit. This That's Toe palette is definitely a little bit more like purple tone, so sometimes that pops through a little bit more if I end up putting too much. But as you can see, it brightens it up a little bit without you doing a shimmer. Now, I don't believe this is like a brand new like technique, especially for people who love just matte looks. But this is new for me because I was all about the shimmers. Let's make the eye bigger. Let's make the eye bright. And so I've been doing this, and I've been really liking it. And it doesn't take me very long to do. And I love this like brush with like the fact that it's angled, because I can literally swoop and make a makeshift cut crease. Which, by the way, I've never even attempted like a cut crease eyeshadow look. Let me know down in the comments if you would like to see that video of me attempting a cut crease. I'm pretty sure that would be hilarious and entertaining, as well as, honestly, or I might be really good at it and just not know. So let me know down in the comments, or thumbs up this video if you want to see me attempt to do a cut crease. Okay, and then I'll go back in and just kind of blend everything really quickly. Then I'm actually, I do have to put some sort of highlight though. So I'm going to go back into the highlight I used from that Tarte palette, and then go in and highlight the brow bone and inner corner. So I like to take my inner highlight like all the way in, and that'll help actually to me it helps brighten my darkness that is in there. So that's why I like to bring it all the way over. I drag it a little bit. At this point, this is when I'll do setting spray, and these are the two setting sprays I like to do: the Milani Make It Last Original, as well as the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid setting spray. Feel like my skin is looking a little dry, so I'm actually going to go in with the ColourPop Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist. So this spray is definitely a lot more hydrating and makes your skin a little bit more glowy, which is what I'm going for. So for going into mascara, so these are the two mascaras I've been reaching for, which is the L'Oreal Bambi mascara, and this is the waterproof version, and then the ColourPop Act Natural Defining Mascara. These are the two that I've definitely been reaching for. This is newer to me, and I've been testing it out. But today I'm actually going to go into the ColourPop Act Natural Mascara, and this is in the shade Black. Now, on my everyday basis, I don't wear lashes. I don't usually wear a whole lot of like eyeliner. Honestly, the eyeliner thing is I just feel like I'm not that good at it, and I know it takes practice. Yeah, I'm working on it. Trying to get out of my comfort zone, but this is the everyday look video, so this is honestly what I do every day. As you can see, you can kind of tell a little bit of a difference of what this mascara does. I just love how like long and full this mascara makes my Okay, so the camera cut me off, but I have my mascara on. So as you can see, it makes my lashes look huge. For the waterline, I like to take this LA Girl Perfect Precision eyeliner in the shade Arctic White, and I like to put it on the waterline to brighten up my eyes. I like to do the waterline after mascara, so it helps kind of clean up any like flakes I got on the waterline from the mascara. But that just brightens up my eyes so much. Okay, last and final step is lips, and this has been my absolute favorite go-to combo over the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, and that has been my favorite for a while. So this is the NYX Professional Slide On Glide On Stay On Waterproof Extreme Color Lip Liner in the shade Nude Suede Shoes, and then my lipstick is the ColourPop Luxe Blur Lipstick in the shade Kate. These two are like my go-to combos for just a simple, your lips but better, everyday lip. And I like to fill them in a little bit just to help keep the lipstick on. Going in with the lipstick. This is definitely a little more matte, and it's definitely blurring. It stays on decently well. It's not like a liquid lipstick. I just love how soft it feels on my lips, and it just adds so much pigmentation. But yeah, here is the final look of what I wear every single day. I'm going to zoom you guys out and finish off this video. So here is the final look. My girlfriend Lauren is here. We're off to go pick up my wedding dress, but I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments, are you like a cool tone girl, or are you a warm tone girl, or do you switch it up? Let me know, and also let me know of your thoughts on this look and what are your typical go-to products. So yeah, this is one I love wearing just day to day. It's really easy, it's fuss-free, and it lasts a very, very long time throughout the day. And yeah, and also I can, like, if I need to put on more mascara, I can, or if I can put on like lip liner, and also you can lip liner, and also I can glam it up by adding like eyeliner or different lipsticks, so it's easy to go from day to night. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and hit the like button if you did, and subscribe for new videos every single week. And I hope you've been enjoying all the wedding content, house hunting content, and DIYs, and a little bit more of makeup videos. Yeah, I would love to know your thoughts down below on today's video, so comment. And thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.